Hey guys. So, if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, it's probably already colder than a penguin's asshole outside, and you're probably thinking, like, how the hell am I gonna get all these plants and myself through the winter of 2020. Well, I've already made a video on the subject of keeping your plants alive during the winter time, and I'll link that down below for you, but today we're going to take it just a little bit further because, my friends, this year's going to be a real motherfucker. Not only must we battle the unrelenting dry air, the ever-encroaching army of spider mites, and the drafts from the century-old windows you're stuck with, or that might just be me, but the whole ass world is a mess. We are stuck in an unending election that is just a nightmare we're never going to wake from. And the whole is not going away anytime soon. So what are we, the people who bought 3 plants a week to deal with 5 years worth of trauma in one growing season, supposed to do? Ordering plants in the wintertime is like hard and stuff. Well, today I'm going to walk you through my sanity plan for me and my 200-something plant collection. So let's get started. Ironically, I realized somewhere into the 3-digit plant collection mark that I didn't really consider that this hobby I had taken up to supplement my self-care and my mental health it was going to be really difficult to keep up with when my mental health was not doing so good. To think of these things too late. The very plants that normally bring me joy bring me lots of anxiety when it's been 10 days since the last time my plants had better than the dregs of my water glass in a desperate attempt at life support. So this winter I'm leaning hard on watering hacks and breaking up my watering throughout the week so it isn't such a daunting task. So to do this, I'm borrowing a little bit of some of these like crazy white people like cleaning systems. Have you ever seen this stuff on YouTube? White women will make a game out of anything to get their head out of the space that they are, in fact, domestic servants. Anyway, they have some good ideas. I'm borrowing a little bit from the Fly Lady system. I like to consider my system the High Lady system. But basically the point is that you just do a little bit every single day, and then that adds up to what would normally take you a couple of hours if you tried to like do it all in one day. So I've broken my plants up into like zones. I haven't written it down or made anything formal or fancy, but in my head I have certain zones in my house where the plants are, and I will water each zone, you know, every day, every other day, and then eventually I've made my way around the whole house, and this also prevents me from having the problem I was having before where I was watering my whole entire apartment worth of plants, and then they were all basically drying out at the same exact time, causing me to panic and have to spend an hour and a half watering plants on a day where I was, you know, burned out and tired and just didn't want to do that. I'm also guilty of putting off watering simply because the task of hooking up the chlorine filter to my tap and waiting for the can to fill is so annoying and easy to put off. That's going to be an ADD thing because I just can't sit still and wait for that. So now whenever I make coffee, since I have to use that to fill the reservoir, I just fill up my watering can as well and put it aside so I can water real quick if I see anything dry and desperate for life, and that way I don't put it off. The key is to defeat your own brain. On this note, I also rely heavily on my timers for my grow lights, and this is one thing I don't ever have to think of and take up any storage space in my brain for. The lights come on at a certain time, they go off at a certain time, and I know that my plants will always get an adequate amount of light. And I'm actually using the hydro spikes that I purchased like a year ago and never used. I actually needed to get some fishing weights to hold the tube down in the water glass because it was just floating to the top and it wasn't making the spikes work the way they were supposed to. And I also didn't soak them. So we're going to try to do that right this time around and see how those work out on some of my thirstier plants. And of course my grow lights are a big part of how I help my plants get through the winter, especially some of my plants that need a lot more sun than, you know, say the tropicals that don't mind a little bit of shade. My high color coleus and things like that all need a good amount of light, as well as my carnivorous plants and my succulents. So that is a very important part of how I manage to get through the winter with minimal, if any, losses. You don't need big fancy grow lights like what I have. Any grow lights will help you better than no grow lights will help you. And if you want to know more about grow lights, I talk about that in the video that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. And you don't need expensive grow lights. I have everything from cheap clip-on grow lights I got on Amazon to the slightly more advanced micro mole panels. These are full spectrum lights from Hidden Harvest Grow Lights. I'm unable to link them down below because for some reason YouTube flags that link. So you'll just have to use Google, sorry. I even use this $11 CFL light bulb, and it does a great job of helping a lot of these plants maintain growth throughout the winter. Still using the same humidifier from my original video, and of course that is also pretty key, especially when you are dealing with a space heater like I am. And I just keep my humidity meter over here, and that just lets me know what the zone around my heater is looking like, because this is the zone that I get the most worried about when it comes to dry air. So, one thing I've been meaning to do for a while now is to get my account started on the Indoor Jungle directory. And the Indoor Jungle directory is also sponsoring a part of this video, which I really appreciate because brands don't really like me, my filthy mouth, my dangerous leftist ideas, and probably my face too, I don't know. So the Indoor Jungle directory is basically the only place on the internet right now that is entirely dedicated to helping you make planty connections with other plant people, which means other people who are not going to think you're a total weirdo for randomly IDing, you know, the plants in the cracks in the sidewalk just for fun. You know, which is something I've heard people do. And this whole thing was created by Becca de la Plants and her de la Brains, so you know that it's going to be super cool and a lot of fun. So I'm very excited to try this out. So I'm kind of hoping this winter I can make some new planty connections on here and, you know, not feel quite so isolated during a long isolating winter. Even those of us who are pretty good at this whole isolation thing and don't really mind not having to do anything socially, we really need to make sure that we don't end up being total hermits, because it's not good for you. You know, we're social creatures. We need other people. So I'll show you real quick how you sign up. And obviously I will leave all of the information down in the description box if you want to sign up yourself. It is completely free. So once you get to indoorjungledirectory.delaplants.com, or you can just Google it, what you're going to do is you're going to sign up for an account. So if this is your first time, you're going to need to sign up for an account. However, I already did that. I never set it up, but I did sign up. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign into the website, and I can show you around and how to set it up. So now that we are logged in, you can see up here that once you click on your profile, it gives you a drop-down list of all kinds of things. This is the profile page where you can also go through this menu here. And like a lot of social media websites, you will see different options to post like a status or add an avatar and a banner to your profile, which I'm going to do now. From here, you can start exploring the website, and the first thing that I did was look for a couple of groups to join. I didn't find one for my specific city, which did not surprise me because this is a newer website, but I did find some pretty close to me, so I went ahead and joined a couple of groups so I could get started meeting people. And of course, like all other social media networks, you are also able to make individual friends with other people, and I have found Marina from Millennial Planter, so I'm going to go ahead and add her as a friend. And of course, you can put a status out into the collective ethos, just like in a Facebook or anything like that. So I'm just going ahead and throwing one up there to see how it works. And before I sign off, I'm just going to go ahead and introduce myself in one of the groups that I joined so I can get a conversation going there too. Okay, I am super excited to dig into that website and watch it as it grows and blossoms. And I think, I don't know if I'm alone here, but I think quite a few of us are ready to get off some of these other social media platforms a little more often. Another project I think is going to be super good for my brain as well as my big plant collection is taking the time to fill out my Grow-A-Dam journal. This came from Tyler Thrasher. You can find him at Tyler Thrasher Art on Instagram. If you're not familiar with Tyler, he is a beautiful combination of a scientist, an activist, and a plant nerd, and he wraps that all up into artwork and outreach. And one of the things that he created in the last year or so was this Grow a Damn journal, and it is this beautiful book. It has like some nice embossing on the cover. I think that he may be dropping more of them for his holiday release very soon, so you should keep an eye out for that if you're interested. It's like a journal that you can record a lot of things about your plants, the family, the genus, the species, if you grew them from seed, where you purchased them. There's places for notes and what works, what didn't work, your seasonal observations, your sketches. So this is just a way that I'm going to spend my winter months trying to keep my brain in the game of learning more about my passion and my hobby, and out of the fact that I can't leave my house. I'm also considering taking Summerrain Oaks' Houseplant Masterclass, or just other kinds of online education this winter. I think we might as well, if we have to do this stuff, and I know a lot of you have to work, so life isn't quite as ripe with free time, if you will, but we all have that little bit of extra space because we aren't really able to go out as much as we could and do the things that we used to do outside of the house. So trying to focus on productive ways to spend at home. Most of all this winter, I'm just gonna try to focus on the things that I can control. Back when this whole thing started, me and a bunch of other YouTubers got together and we put out a video to let everybody out there that watches PlantTube know that they were not alone going through all of this and that we would all be here. And I still mean that. I will be putting out as many videos as I can over the winter time. I am planning to do Vlogmas. Don't know how that will go, but we're gonna give it a shot. I try every year, so we're not gonna let failure keep us from trying, right? But I'll be doing lives and hosting lots of fun stuff, and we'll just try to get through this together. So thanks for hanging out with me today and checking out the Indoor Jungle Directory. Make sure you check out the link down below. Thank you again to Becca in the Indoor Jungle Directory for sponsoring a part of this video. I hope I'll see you on the website, and I will definitely see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye. Thank you again to Becca in the Indoor... And I was looking at the screen again. Fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck. Not only do we have to battle the unrelenting dry hair. Dry hair? Oh, fuck off. Jesus Christ. Camera wasn't recording. Okay. Just in case I was looking at the screen, I'm going to do that again. And I'm still using the same humidifier from my original winter grow light. Fuck. I'm still using the same humidifier from my original video. This is a Elicombs video. Fuck off. And you know, this being a brainchild, this might be me. Fuck me. Why are you recording now?